Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Forge History. Today, I got Charles Stoot here with me. Say hi, Charles.
Hey.
And today, we'll be talking about some of his maps in Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4. He'll be talking about his experiences from them, his experiences from making them, from testing them, and basically what he learned from them. Because the idea of this series is to show you guys the process of how most forgers, how most good forgers did get to where they are now, which is make a lot of errors and get feedback, and hopefully you'll be able to see the progress and the growth of Charles as a forger through the maps that we're going to show you guys. And seeing as this is the first Forge History video, hopefully you guys can give me some feedback on what I can do to make things better, because, well, like I said, this is the first thing and there may be some errors, but hopefully me and Charles can make a good video for you guys. So let's just get started. Charles, go ahead and take it away. Talk about your maps.
Well, we're gonna start off with Halo 3. Halo 3, I was only in LAN parties and stuff like that, so I never really got to test any of my maps or anything like that. But I definitely started growing as a forger back then. Starting off with Penalty Kick, game type, Super Alpha. It was basically based on Red vs. Blue episode Die, and I just want to make a minigame around that because it looked really cool what they were doing there. And what it was you just shoot, you drop, there's one alpha zombie and they drop a soccer ball down into gravity lifts and it shoots it. And you're trying to, people on the other side are trying to hit the soccer balls up into the higher hoops and stuff like that. There wasn't really any good scoring or anything with it. It was just a Halo 3 minigame, so.
So this was your first ever experience in Forge mode, like this map.
Yeah, that was my first ever, yeah.
And it's a football minigame. Huh. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah, the next one is Sandwich. Game type is Don't Stop. What it was actually, this was my first real minigame, and I actually did play this in a couple LAN parties that I had. And what it is it's a double-sided trash compactor. And two flood up above, and they just push things in. And the reason why I made this was because I was tired of the regular trash compactor, things getting jammed at the very end, and people like hiding behind objects. So I just made this, and it made it a little more interesting, but again, it was just a Halo 3 minigame.
So was this your first breakable map? Like, did you have any problems with that in your other maps, or was it this one first?
So many of my maps I've had problems with, but this was probably the first one that was deeply breakable. But I learned that basically you're gonna have things that are gonna break. People are gonna break them, and that's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing if somebody breaks your map, because it shows that you can take the break and fix it. If you can't fix it, then figure out a way to use it to your advantage. So Happy Ninjas. Oh my god. This minigame, this game type actually, this was where I literally, you could say I could start my creativity. Though back in Halo 3, this game type, what it exactly was you ran as fast as you could, you jumped as high as you could, but you were invisible, and you had nades of every kind. And I didn't think it would be that much fun. It was fun with the LAN parties and stuff like that, but I didn't think it would be that much fun. But it was a hit. And later on, I'll actually talk about the fact I actually brought it into Halo Reach. And let alone, I did try to bring it into Halo 4. But in Halo 4, it just didn't work.
So it's like a free-for-all kind of minigame where everyone has swords, invisible, and infinite supply of nades.
Infinite supply of nades. And, I mean, it's one of those minigames where it's like, you early on, you make a minigame where, like, it's just like crap show, but it's just fun to play it. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
So you gotta start somewhere.
Sounds like an iPhone app. Alright, now we're gonna start talking about Charles's Reach maps, and this is something we haven't done with his maps in Halo 3, which is set categories for each of the maps. So we're gonna have Reach first map, and then Reach worst map. After that, we're gonna have the Reach most learned map, and then the Reach best map. So I think that would be a really good way to show you guys the growth and, well, the fuck-ups of Charles as a forger in Halo Reach.
So what we're gonna start off with is Happy Ninjas 2.25. If you recall, I talked about Happy Ninjas as the last map sponsored in Halo 3. This one was created more for 16 people. One in Halo 3 was for LAN parties. I realized quickly that that could not work with the 3 life things. It just couldn't work. So, and it was actually a lot of fun. I remember playing this for hours and hours on end, and I actually went back a couple of years ago to this game and played with one of my friends, and he's like, wait, this game? I love this game! I'm like, well, you guys didn't say it back then. But anyways, the next one that we're going to talk about is the worst map, and this is by far probably my worst map ever of all times. And it's really easy to probably explain this, but it is the worst map.
What the
It's called
fuck?
Asteroids. I tried to make a class. I tried to make a classic, and this did not work. It was a 3D asteroids, and there's one human, and his objective was to come out and try to shoot asteroids. Well, the asteroids were actually vehicles that were infected, and they were being thrown through teleporters. You had no control if you were the infected whatsoever of the vehicles whatsoever. You just flown through the air. Yeah, and you had no control, and it was just spam through teleporters.
Is that a tank? Is that a flip tank falling through? Is Liam Neeson in there?
The next one would be Tundra. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but I actually tried my work at competitive and casual. I would actually show Savine, but Savine wasn't as most learned as this one was. I learned so much out of this. How to forge, how to start like just building, putting things down. Problem with this was it was a freaking map where it was a bridge overhanging a gulch. The freaking forge rope. It was huge, massive, meant for every single game type that was out there except for a couple that I could not actually put into the map because I had so many items. I literally could not place a single spawn point down, and it would not let me do so. If you actually go into Forge of this map, you can see Christmas colors all over the map. But what I learned from this is actually how to like work with the different game types and stuff like that, and actually make a map work with these game types. And if it didn't work, then it just didn't work. But I had to figure out how to make it work. So it may have been a shit show, but it was a good start to something, and where to develop and actually figure out certain game types to evolve off of them. I really did learn so much from it that I can't forge casual or Slayer.
That's what you learned. You're not someone who makes competitive maps.
I'm not one to make competitive maps, but I learned how to break down every single thing, every single game type and stuff like that on a map to make it work. So the next one's called Excalibur's Tournament. The game type is King Arthur. This was because I was annoyed the crap out of Sword Tournament. Annoyed the crap out of it. The fact that I had to sit there and watch my team, because I died so early on in the tournament, I had to watch just randoms play, and I just wanted to play. I just wanted to have fun with it. So I made this. What it is basically, it is Excalibur's Tournament. I took the map directly from it. And actually, in a couple months afterwards, when I made this, I had some person just pop it up. Some random person just pop it up. Never knew the person whatsoever ever before. He just started playing it, and he's like, and I was like, this is my map. And he's like, he didn't even know me whatsoever. It's awesome. That was the first like acknowledgement that I was like, wow, somebody actually.
That was the first time you felt popular.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Okay.
Brag about it.
Don't let it go. Don't let it go to your head, guys. Just don't. Seriously.
Yeah, man. Don't let it get to your head.
Yeah,
that's
that's
something you
one
guys should
for
keep
Halo
in
Reach.
mind. Don't let it get to your head. Don't be like Charles here. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the last section of this video. We'll be talking about Charles's Halo 4 maps, and it's actually in Halo 4 where I first met Charles, so most of the maps you'll be talking about I'm personally familiar with, and some of them I'm actually not, but you know, most of them still. And usually we would talk about Master Chief Collection maps after the Halo 4 maps, but we won't be doing that this time because Charles is a Destiny kid now, and I don't think he's made anything in MCC. So
only
let's
Blaze Cave.
just move on to the Halo. Oh wait, have you made anything?
There's
in
only
MCC?
Blaze Cave, and that fell through cracks.
Nah, you're still a bad kid, Destiny kid. Let's move on to the Halo 4 maps, Charles.
Alright, so we'll start off with Flying We'll start off with flying monkey balls. On this is the game type with
Flying
jet
monkey
ball.
ball.
This was actually flying monkey
There are like
balls.
12 and you need it.
We couldn't put balls in there. It wouldn't let us, so we put balls. But anyways, yep,
Balls.
it would catch it. So anyways, this was actually a minigame back from Halo Reach. And we couldn't find it in Halo Reach. We died to find it, so we made it here in Halo 4. A bunch of different things we had to do with it. Short story is, it's with jetpacks, oddball, and you have to try to hold on to it as long as you can. It will explode at random times, but you are in teams of 2 or multi-team, and just try to hold it. Very simple. Just structures that you can jump on, and if you drop it, it drops into the water and resets. Nothing really far advanced, but it was my first minigame. It got me interested. It got me understanding basically how Forged worked in Halo 4. Not a huge deal, but just how to start forging and stuff like that in Halo 4. So the next one is the worst map. That was my first map of Flying Monkey Balls. My worst map was probably by far Groundskeepers. I have a couple other ones that would probably compete with this on being the worst map. But this is the worst map because of the fact that I pre-released it way far in advance. It was a really cool idea, got a couple of features here and there, but it just, you couldn't understand it. It was broken beyond belief too. Next map, most learned map, would be Chase. The reason why I most learned about this, wow, it took me probably about a quarter of a year, if not half of a year, to come up with this. 7 different versions of it, and I mean 7 different versions starting from scratch, directly from scratch, a brand new map.
I remember you building Chase. I think you showed me its very first alpha. Like,
Very
you were just
first.
testing the concept of the hills and the warthogs. And yeah, I was actually pretty impressed already. And I thought what you showed me was the final map already, like the final layout. And then, Jesus, so many iterations this one. Like, but a fun minigame.
It started from basically King of the Hill, trying to figure out a way to make it so that I tried to make him with King Hill, it didn't work. Ricochet came out, and Pete the Dark actually introduced me to it. He's like, you should make a minigame with this. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try my whack at it. This was my minigame. And you didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. And it really did actually launch Ricochet, I think. It really helped a lot of people start forging with Ricochet because they saw a map that could be made with it. What Ricochet could do with it. And what Chase is basically, it's basically cops and robbers with a working jail system.
Yeah, that was really cool that you actually managed that.
What I tried to achieve in the very beginning, try to make a mini game that could balance the mechanisms with gameplay that was fun to enjoy, but also far in advance that people would be like, holy crap, this isn't modded. With all the modded content that was in Halo 4, this was, so many people questioned this as a modded game type.
Yeah, this was really clever because I was really impressed because, like you said, it's not modded and we didn't have any scripting back when you made this. So you just made this with the core Ricochet game types, and you were using, I remember you were using moving kill balls to like activate stuff, like, so there was like a mechanism under the map, and it was amazing. And I can just imagine what you can do now in Halo Master Chief Collection with scripting.
Those that play Master Chief Collection don't know the dying need, the dying amount of effort I put in to just make your timer work. Make whatever else, your scripting, your switches, make those work in Halo 4. It was beyond real to actually make those work in Halo 4. Now it's just given to you. Like a pharmacy.
Yeah. This was back in the Stone Ages before we had technology.
Stone Ages. I'm not.
Yeah. If only you got out of Destiny every once in a while
Hey.
to play Halo. You disgust me.
I can't categorize how many maps I made. Orbital Launch, Chase, Blaze Cave, Green Lantern. I can't put them out there as the best map, but I think the best map that people were amazed by would play if it actually came out earlier on in Halo 4. What they would play is probably Floorrunners. And the reason why I picked this map as the best map out of Halo 4 and overall was because this minigame, it was simple in mechanics. It was very simple in mechanics, but people pleaded for this. They were like, "This has got to be a mod," but it wasn't. Well, this was a team-based one where you actually had teamwork. You had to work as a team. You threw the ball to your team. You had to run away from the beams coming down. It was a beautiful minigame, very well aesthetically pleasing, very well done. I don't know what more to say about it.
Well, I remember you showing me the very first version. I think we played it in one of my lobbies, and you had the wall coliseum instead of the grid, which like players had to watch
their
their
radar, yeah.
because they couldn't see down. That was bad.
Very, very bad.
Were it not for the genius of me, I just want to point that out.
Hey. But the thing is, with minigames, you don't need aesthetics, but it always does help. So, but it was a very, very well placed gameplay minigame, and out of all the maps, I think it does definitely fit into the best map. I mean, Chase definitely is up there too, along with the other ones: Green Lantern, Blaze Cave, Orbital Launch. Orbital Launcher is definitely most played in customs, but this one, if you ever got a chance to play it, people were amazed by it. Played it all the time, loved it.
Alright, so those are all Charles's Halo 4 maps that he wanted to talk about. He might have something else to put there if we finish our linear infection co-forge. You remember that? We were trying to make a linear infection map together and it just did not work out.
I remember that, yep.
Remember our idea with the elevator? Jesus Christ, that was so
I tried to get out of minigames there. So.
The first area was good. Anything else other than that was failure.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool if we
I think we could put the blame on Charles.
Hey, now you can despawn stuff. Try it in Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that our idea could be done in Master Chief Collection if you fucking every once in a while. Yeah.
Yep. But
alright, anyway, that is it for this Forge history video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any suggestions or feedback on what I can do to improve future videos, just leave it in the comments or message me, email me. You know what, go to my house and give it to me personally. Do what you want. Just let me know so that I can make the future videos better. The next one will be an infection forger. Can you guess who? Anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. Yeah, that's all my time. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.